I try to view myself as a girl, as a lady, that I can bring a change in the society. And because ladies are being looked down upon, therefore I decided to make it as, another way.
I had this ambition even from childhood. I used to tell myself, though I never used to tell my dad or my mom, because they could despise the fact that how can a lady be a pastor in my house.
Dad is very proud of me. And also there's one thing I usually tell him. My dad didn't get a PhD, but I must have that PhD.
That PhD, powerful man.
Up to, I couldn't do anything in school, so I'll be like my mom. You know, if I got a chance to talk to my mom, like from school, she would tell me, hey, Ruth, I think I'm giving up. You know, when my mom tells me that, like me and I'm this girl, I'm like, Mom, please don't. You know, I felt like the world is like coming to an end because my mom crying. You know, she really looked up to me so much, but she never knew I was breaking inside as a girl. So, you know, as I was seated in class one time, I just asked God, now, me as a girl and all these things that I have seen, the way my dad treats my mom, it's not adding up. What can I really do so that everything can be like equal in my family?
Hujambo mtazamaji, unatazama runinga moja kwa moja kutoka chuo kikuu cha Mashariki mwa Afrika Baraton, katikati mwa jimbo la Nandi hapa nchini Kenya. Kutoka popote pale unatutazama, hii ni meza kuu ambapo tunaoleta wageni alikwa ambao tayari wapo ndani hapa, na ni wageni ambao wameamua kwamba shughuli yao kuu katika maisha yao yote kuanzia ujana wao, ama kama ilikuwa ni ndoto yao tangu totoni, tutakuwa tunajua bila shaka kwamba waliamua wawe wachungaji, wakiwa ni mabinti ambao ukiwatazama hapa ni wachanga kwa umri, na vile vile wanaonekana kwamba wako tayari. Katika zungumza zangu nao pembeni kabla ya kuamua kuwaleta hapa, walikuwa kweli wanataka kuitwa wachungaji, au sio? Bila shaka mtazamaji, basi kile unafanya ni kwamba unakwenda kupokea ujumbe ambao wenyewe watakupatia moja kwa moja ni vipi walichukua hatua kwamba lazima wawe wachungaji. Wengi wanatamani kuwa daktari, rubani na kadhalika, lakini wao wameamua kwamba lazima wahubiri neno. Mimi ni Lekishon Laban nikisema karibu moja kwa moja tuende kwenye mahojiano. Upande wangu hapa namuona binti mmoja mwenye tabasamu lake hivi. Hebu kazungumza pamoja nasi.
Asante sana kwa kunipa fursa hii. Ningependa kuanza kwa kujitambulisha. Kwa majina ni Elizabeth Milali, au kipenda mchungaji Elizabeth. Na hivyo basi ningependa tuweze kuanza na wazo hili ambapo tunazungumza kwani ni nini hasa ilifanya tuweze kuwa au kuchagua hili fursa la kuwa wachungaji. Ningependa kuzungumza kwa lugha ya Kimombo.
Tutakuja hapo baadaye. Jina lake tumelipata. Kwa kiwango cha sasa hivi unajipa introduction yenyewe na kuja upande wako.
Jina langu ni Ruth Bensari. Nashukuru Mungu ametufikisha hapa leo.
Unatoka wapi? Kaunti gani?
Natoka sehemu za Nyamira County.
Nyamira County. Unatoka kaunti gani?
Natoka kaunti la Machakos.
Na wewe unatoka kaunti gani na jina lako tafadhali?
Kwa jina ni Charity Bonareri Kiage, ama mchungaji Bonareri Kiage.
Mchungaji.
Yeah. Natoka katika kaunti ya Nyamira.
Naam. Yeah. Asante sana. Mwenzetu pia hapa.
Asante kwa majina. Kwa sasa nina majina mawili. La kwanza ni Marvin Akinyi. Na tarajia kupata ya tatu.
Hala.
Natoka Homa Bay County.
Anatoka Homa Bay County. Watu wengi sana wanatamani lazima wawe na maazimio makubwa katika maisha. Nyinyi mlipoketi tu mkasema, kuna mwanya, lazima tuhubiri. Kichochezi kilikuwa kipi?
Tangu niwe mdogo sikuwa naazimia kuwa mchungaji, lakini nilipofika kidato cha 4 nilipata mchungaji mmoja alikuwa anahubiri vizuri sana, na jinsi alivyokuwa akihubiri, na ni mhubiri wa kike, jinsi alivyokuwa akihubiri ikanivutia sana, nami nikahisi tu nikiwa mchungaji naweza fanya mengi sana, na pia naweza sema yote ambayo nimepitia kama msichana yalinivutia pia kuwa mchungaji. Naam.
Uliyoyapitia kama msichana yakakuvutia kuwa mchungaji. Tutarejelea kwenye usemi huo moja kwa moja. Tuambie, kama msichana mbona ikakupa, kipi kilichokuwa kichochezi ukaamua kwamba sharti uwe mchungaji?
Kilichonifanya mimi kama msichana niamue kuwa mchungaji, nilikuwa mgonjwa nilipokuwa kidato cha 3. Hapo mwanzoni sikuwa na hiyo hamu ya kuwa mchungaji, lakini nilipofika kidato cha 3 nilipata changamoto fulani. Nilikuwa mgonjwa, ikabidi nirudi shule tena niende kusoma, lakini nilipokuwa mgonjwa niliambia Mungu, ukinisaidia ili niwe mzima nitakufanyia wewe kazi. Na hilo lilinifanya nilipomaliza kidato cha 4 nikaamua acha nifanyie Mungu kazi.
Naam, kwa hivyo wewe ulikutana na ugonjwa? Mungu akakuponya, ukaamua kwamba sharti umtumikie. Asante sana. Ubuya.
Asante, mimi naomba niongee lugha ya Kimombo.
Tafadhali.
Asante. Thank you. The driving force towards me choosing to be a minister. One, we find for you to be a minister, it has to be a call. It's a calling that it's being driven by 2 forces. There's the internal force and the external force. So for me, the internal force was the greater one other than the external force, because people can tell you, yes, you can make a good minister, but then you can deny the fact that you can make a good minister. But for me, I had this ambition even from childhood. I used to tell myself, though I never used to tell my dad or my mom, because they could despise the fact that how can a lady be a pastor in my house. So I had that driving force from childhood, and it kept motivating me, and a lot of factors also contributed to it. Just as my sister said, there's a time I fell sick, admitted for almost a month, but we did everything, any other thing possible for me to get well, but it couldn't. And so there are these people, in the Adventist hospitals, they usually bring pastors to minister to the sick. And so there's this pastor who motivated me, and I really felt touched, and I felt like when I get to this place, my dream as when I was a child, I used to tell myself I will be a medical doctor. But then, after that scenario of being bedridden for almost a month, I changed my mind right from childhood. Around class 4, class 6 there, I changed my mind. Then after, someone can say that you be a pastor because you had no other option. No, for me, I had options. But then I chose to be a minister. Why? Because there is something that I usually know, that when God wants you to be who He wants you to be, He will use any other means possible for you to become what He really wants you to be. So that's the thing that I saw in my life. Everything that I planned as a human being, everything that I planned as a lady, all went like I never planned them. But finally, I got myself here. Why? Because God had planned, and God had a reason why I became a minister.
Asante sana. Anasema kwamba kilichomchochea kwamba pia ni hali ya maisha, ugonjwa na maamuzi aliyochukua. Angetamani kuwa chochote kile na alikuwa na uwezo, lakini akasema kwamba hapana, lazima nichukue hatua ya kuwa mchungaji. Mwenzetu hapa, Milan au Melan?
Milali.
Milal.
Yeah,
Milal. Jina rahisi. Elizabeth atakwenda kutuambia kilichomfanya kuamua kuwa mchungaji hapa.
Haya basi, asante kwa kunipa fursa hii pia. Ningependa pia kuzungumza kwa lugha ya Kimombo.
Naam.
Okay, thank you. Okay, on my side, I want to say this. Naturally, or the way we understand in our societies or our cultures too, it is well known that ladies are not termed as well to be pastors. As you understand that in our minds we view that it's only men who should have a participation in this work of being ministers. And because people try to view that it's only gentlemen who have to perform in this activity or in the ministry, I try to view myself as a girl, as a lady, that I can bring a change in the society. And because ladies are being looked down upon, therefore I decided to make it as, another way. Therefore, as we know that, because as we understand even in our churches that ladies are not given the high leadership positions to lead. And therefore, for me to decide that I want to be a minister, I said this because people try to think that ladies can't be perfect in the ministry. Therefore, I said I can stand and say that I can try to do what I can do the best, more than the men can do.
All right.
Through that, it led me to be an upcoming minister, and I made it as a decision that I want to be a minister.
Kwa hivyo wewe unasema kwamba kwa sababu wanaume walikuwa wamefanya dominance in the ministry, now you said you're going to challenge men. What is one thing that you're going to do that is going to be very exceptional, like a lady, besides what men do?
Yeah. Therefore, I've got you right. This is the thing. Let me use Kiswahili now. Kwa kawaida ni kwamba tunaona kwamba wanaume au wale ambao wana jinsia ya kiume ndio wanafaa kuwa wahubiri ama kuwa watumishi.
Mtazamo wa kijamii.
Ni mtazamo wa kijamii. Si kwetu, hata pala popote tu utapata vivyo hivyo sasa. Na kwa maana hilo ndilo wazo ambalo wanalo kwa akili, ndivyo nami nikasema mbona nisiligeuze hili wazo na kuliweka vingine. Na basi kutokana na hayo nikaweza kuleta hili wazo la kwamba naweza kuwa mtumishi na kile ambacho anakifanya pia mimi nina uwezo wa kukifanya.
Okay, are you aware of the biblical concept about women?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, there's what we call in literature male chauvinism. This statement is coming this way, that the Bible is full of male chauvinism.
Yeah.
Speak on that.
Okay, it's not really about men chauvinism, but I want to drive you in a specific verse. It's in the book of, just say it please.
Okay, just to help.
Say the verse.
There is this verse that really encourages both male and female. But then it now encourages us as female pastors. The book of Colossians 3:28 that says, "There are neither a Jew nor a Greek, neither a female nor a male." So for that fact, God is seeing us all together as one. Like there is no one who can be perfect more than the other. Yeah.
Okay. Kwa hivyo kuna usawa, pana usawa katika
Pana
Injili.
usawa.
Hivyo basi kwa maana tumeona hilo fungu limesema kwamba neither a Jew nor a Jew, a Gentile nor a Jew, or a free or slave, nor a male or a female. We are all
that male
equal.
or female.
Yeah, male or female. We are all equal because we were saved by Christ. And therefore we can partake every duty that is given because there is equality in between the male and the female. Now, as you consider this verse, it tries to outview that everybody has a duty, despite the gender, despite the position, he or she can partake the same duty and to the best part of it.
Okay. Asante sana. Naibua masuala changamano hapa kabisa kusema kwamba kuna usawa katika Injili, lakini sijui kama wana copy hii ama wana habari hii kwamba sasa hivi kuna mjadala mkubwa kanisani kama kweli ordination ya wanawake ni muhimu waitwa wachungaji wafanya shughuli nzima nzima. Are you aware of this?
Yeah.
Mchango wenu ni upi? Nikianza na Obuye.
Asante. Okay, to my side, I don't see ordination as something like a big issue to me, because with or without ordination, I'll serve God. With or without ordination, I'll serve God, and I'll still repeat it, because I was called. This is a calling. For me to be in the ministry, I shouldn't fight for me to be ordained.
What is ordination?
Ordination, like, okay, ordination, I can't explain it the exact term, but
Let me try to help you.
The role of ordination.
the
Ordained
role
pastors.
of ordination, you can help in baptism, marriages,
And also burial ceremony.
burials. You can even this Passover, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can lead in everything that a pastor can do. So it means if you are not ordained as a female pastor, you are half a pastor.
You
can't
have a
do
pastor,
everything.
yes, but then, okay, you know what? In our division is only in our division that ordination for women, female pastors is not
Okay.
taken like something
Asante,
serious.
nisiwasukume sana swala hili kwa sababu ni mjadala chanya sana katika Biblia na vile vile katika kanisa kwa sasa. Kwa sababu nyinyi uko mwaka wangapi?
Mwaka wa kwanza.
Mwaka wa kwanza. Uliingia chuo kikuu kipi hiki?
Chuo kikuu cha Baraton.
Ndio unasoma mwaka wa kwanza. Mwaka upi?
Wa kwanza.
Mwaka upi?
Wa kwanza.
Mwaka upi? Kwa hivyo mwaka wa pili. Kwa hivyo kidogo una ueledi wa mambo kidogo tu. Asante sana. Kuna wengi ambao watasema kwamba wasichana wachungaji, kuna mtazamo wa kijamii, namna unajiweka, namna ulivyo. Kwa mfano wewe ulisema kwamba mambo yako kama msichana yalikufanya uweze kuamua kuwa mchungaji. Mtazamo wa nyinyi sijui kama kuuliza umri ni vibaya. Wanasema nchini Kenya ni vibaya kwa kina dada, sijui kwa wachungaji na kwaje.
Si vibaya.
Si vibaya. Umri upi?
Nina miaka 18.
Miaka 18, msichana mdogo sana huyu ameamua kuwa mchungaji. Miaka mingapi?
19.
19, mchanga kabisa huyu.
19.
19.
19.
19. Hawajafika miaka 20. Sasa kuna mtazamo katika umri wenu, kuna mihemko ya kimwili na mitazamo ya kijamii. Utagundua kwamba kuna relationship issues ambazo wasumbua wale wa kawaida. Na sisi kama wanajamii tukisikia Pastor Elizabeth, kuna vile na kutazamia kabisa na kuona kivingine. Je, mnakumbana na mambo haya?
Tunakumbana nayo.
Naam.
Haya, kwa mfano ni okay, katika umri huu ambao tumo ni umri ambao sisi ni wachanga katika hii ministry. Na hivyo basi ndivyo kuna changamoto mingi ambazo tunazipitia. Kama vile ukijitoa we mwenyewe kwa roho yako ili uweze kumtumikia Mungu, kwa maana sisi wenyewe tunajiita wachungaji. Na hivyo basi katika hali hii ya kuwa mchungaji, hivyo basi utakumbana na mengi. Hasa sisi kama wasichana, ni kweli ni mambo mengi ambayo tunapitia, lakini hayo mambo yasiweze kuwa kizuizi kwetu. Na hivyo basi hayo mambo yakiwepo majaribu, yakiwepo pia tuseme si mateso lakini kupitia hali ngumu. Hivyo basi tunafaa kutafuta suluhisho ambalo litatusaidia lisiwe kizuizi kamwe. Kwa mfano kama vile unaposoma, pengine hamna hela, pengine hamna karo la kulipa shuleni. Hilo lisiwe changamoto kubwa. Ila tu kuna njia ambazo unaweza tafuta ili ukaweze kuwezesha maisha yako shuleni yaweze kuwa mazuri. Hivyo basi kama kuna this stage, adolescent stage ambayo tunafika, ni kwamba tunaelewa ni it's a stage that really affects many. And let it not be an obstacle in your life, but you have to find a way that you have to control yourself. Therefore, in this you'll find that in the ministry you're going to be perfect and you're going to perform well.
All right.
Yeah.
Maoni yako?
Asante sana. Na mimi naweza sema kuwa katika in this stage that we are, there are many challenges and there are many temptations, but as ministers the main thing that has helped us to reach this far, it's prayers and studying the word of God. That is, when you have a challenge or when you have any trouble, you don't tell anybody, but you tell it to Jesus and everything will be okay. That's why even though you pass through a lot, you pass through what, but if you really tell it to Jesus, you will move on with this ministry.
Obuye anawashwa sana.
Asante. I want to say this. in this adolescent stage, okay, we reach a point that you feel like you just have to have a friend, someone you call a close friend. Not even a close friend, you feel like I need a boyfriend, I need a girlfriend.
All right.
Well, that is the thing. But then, how do we conduct ourselves in this kind of stage? The first thing that we should know, okay, we should just look at these people we call friends wisely. And we should just choose on them wisely. And what can really help us, and what has really, let me say on my side, what has really helped me, okay, I have a boyfriend, I can't deny that. But then, what has really helped me is standing to your principles. You know, this is wrong, and this is right. If I do this, I will be glorifying God. And if I do this, I will not be glorifying who? God. But then, how do you stand to your principles? Because you reach a point you feel like, no, hapa nimelemewa, lazima tu nichague kwenda hivi vibaya. Lakini ukiamua kusimama na Mungu, Mungu mwenyewe atasimama na wewe. If you stand in the business of God, God will surely come into your business. And how do you do this? Only to be prayerful. Each and every time you face this kind of temptation, you just go on your knees. Yeah.
Asante sana Binsari, ulishasema kwamba eti shughuli za usichana miaka 19, unaposema hapo nyuma nilipokuwa mtoto, hapo tunaangalia miaka 14, 15. Yapi haya?
Ni vizuri niliposema hivyo, I really meant like, okay, growing up as a girl in my family. Haikuwa rahisi. Na being a firstborn, I really I saw too much, I think. Okay, it's just about my family, so I have to open it out.
Yeah.
Maybe there's someone out there. So, you know, when I was still that 14, 13, you know, okay, my mom and my dad, they were never in good terms. You know, my dad was that person, he would come and really abuse my mom. So I felt so bad, like, it really went up to I couldn't do anything in school, so I'll be like, my mom, you know, if I got a chance to talk to my mom, like, from school, she would tell me, hey, Ruth, I think I'm giving up. You know, when my mom tells me that, like, me and I'm this girl, I'm like, Mom, please don't. You know, I felt like the world is, like, coming to an end because my mom crying. You know, she really looked up to me so much, but she never knew I was breaking inside as a girl. So, you know, as I was seated in class one time, I just asked God, now, me as a girl and all these things that I have seen, the way my dad treats my mom, it's not adding up. What can I really do so that everything can be, like, equal in my family? So, you know, I just wrote in my diary sometime back in 2015. I told God, if really you will help me and my family from this day, I don't know how, but I'm going to work for you and I'm going to serve you. So, you know, years passed, the same thing, but it was just last year. So everything was like, my dad came and apologized. We became one as a family. So when I was in my Form 4, things were coming down and I was really thanking God. And so looking back, I just felt like, because God has answered my prayer, I have to do this for God. I have to serve Him so that, you know, I can reach many people out there. So many people going through what I went through. Psychologically, it really damaged me, I can say that. Yes.
But you have already overcome that.
Yeah, I have overcome.
And there is peace?
Yes.
At home?
Yes.
Here in school?
Yes.
All is well?
Yes,
We
I
thank
thank
God for
God.
you. All right.
Yes.
Asante sana.
And
Speak
there's
out.
this thing I want to speak about our age.
Yeah.
You know, it's so difficult out there. You know, like, we are here in Baraton, like, you find our age mates from other departments, you know, be either boys and girls. They come in and they're like, I do education, English literature, and they're like, what about you? And I'm a pastor, and they'll be like,
Okay.
what?
Really?
And they'll be like, no, you're not a pastor. I'm like, I'm a pastor, please.
I'm doing
And they'll be
theology.
like, Pastor, you know, the thing is, here in school, it's hard to cope with other students from other departments because I've realized that when they want to do something and I'm in their group, they'll be like, we want to listen to this music, like, okay, Pastor, please. So, you know, yeah, you know, it's like, but it's good because they really respect me and they look up to me in some way.
All right.
Yeah.
So when you see how they are operating, there's this thing on campus they call mgalo.
Yeah.
When they see you walking,
They'll be like, okay, Pastor, ko hapa.
apite kwanza.
They'll be like, okay, when I'm with them, they'll be like, okay, we are with Pastor. Let's do this thing later.
So they fear you, or they want to do the right thing?
They want to do the right thing
All
because,
right.
you know, I'm there. Yeah.
What does that speak to you?
Yes, it really speaks to me. So I have to be careful on how I handle myself because one thing mistake and then they're like, oh, Pastor, you can do this? Okay.
Even a pastor can do this?
Yeah, you know, I will break that boundary they have, the respect they have. They'll be like, oh, Pastor. Now, okay, if a pastor can do this, what about us? So it really speaks to
now
me so much.
that you were talking about your family background,
Yeah.
it's not just you, but many people are going through such.
Yeah.
One word, when you look at that camera
Yeah.
and tell somebody something about that challenge and the solution towards it.
Okay, now if you are going through what I underwent in your families, just one thing I have to tell you. Tell it to Jesus. At the moment you open up to Jesus, all shall be well.
All shall be well.
Yes.
Asante sana. Yeah. No?
Okay, there's another point where the other students look upon pastors as failures.
Yeah.
Yeah, they see that anybody doing theology is a failure. That's why he came to do theology. But that is not the point. Doing theology is a calling, as we have said. It's a calling maybe from inward or outward. And if you have this calling, there's something that Pastor Kesis usually tells us, that if you have this calling, even though you try to do anything you can't do that.
I tell you, these young ladies are speaking it out. Hiyo ndio tumekuwa tukijua. Na even there is a perception, you know, on campus, it's very normal. That anybody doing development studies, anybody doing theology, those are courses for those who did not qualify to go direct to the university, and now they come to undertake these ones. It's normal. It's good you spoke it out. So mnatazama runinga ya Baraton. Sijui kama nitachukua kidogo break nikapate maji yangu ya dasani. Tukirejea bila shaka tutakuwa tunaendelea na gumzo na wachungaji hawa. Mimi ni Lekishon Laban, meza kuu, tukikuletea mahojiano ya moja kwa moja. Haya, karibu tena mtazamaji wa runinga ya Baraton moja kwa moja kutoka chuo kikuu cha Baraton. Kabla ya kile kitulizo tulikuwa tunazungumza, kulikuwa kumewaka kweli kweli hapa. Wachungaji hawa wa kike wenye umri mchanga walikuwa wanazungumza pamoja na wewe, na hapa tulikuwa tumefikia pale wanasema kwamba kuna baadhi ya madharau hivi wakiwepo shuleni. Kuna wale ambao wanaona kwamba hawa walifeli mtihani hawa, na kuna wale wengine ambao wanasema hapana, mchungaji usifanye hili, mchungaji usifanye hili na lile. Ulisema wanakuona kwamba wewe mtu ambaye umefeli kwa na kadhalika. Na mengine ambayo kidogo mnakumbana nayo katika kutangamana na wanafunzi. Huyu amezungumza mambo ya akipatana watu wanafanya mambo yao ya kupendana ama kutazama muziki wa kiulimwengu kama ni packaging, basi wanasema packaging itulie, mchungaji amefika. Haya, na mengine?
Mimi nilikuwa nasema, I was saying about that when people look on you as a minister, they see you as a failure. But the truth of it, you're not a failure. It's a call that you have received from God. And you can't go against that call. And if you try going against that call, you may not succeed in what you are going to do. So that's why you have said that being a pastor is a call. Yeah, it may be an inward call or from outward.
All right. Asante sana. Maybe an interaction between male and female pastors in the theology department. Do you have challenges there?
Male and female pastors, yeah, of course. Well, before then, let me say this. Okay, you can be in a point like you need to make a decision. and then there's a certain force that is driving you, a pressure. Pressure is driving you have a pressure from both sides, and now you are at the middle. And now, okay, the other view of other students is they can do any other thing possible to pin you down, to drag your reputation down.
Wanasema kabisa wewe wanakutafuta fitina.
Naam. Wanatafuta kile ambacho wanaweza fanya ili reputation yako irudi chini kabisa. Like they know you as this kind of a person. Okay, you are a minister when you deaconess church.
You
are a leader in the ministerial. Prayer band uko. They feel like
Anaweza
no.
kuita Ellen White hapo.
They feel like no. This girl is so cute.
Mama White.
This girl should be my girlfriend. And if ye mwenyewe anajijua tabia yake si vema na nakutafuta na kufuatafuata ili to pin your reputation down.
Kwa hivyo umewahi tafutwa na mtu ambaye si mchungaji, kwa Kiswahili kile cha Kikenya wanasema umekatiwa. Hapa chuo mnakatiwa?
Kukatiwa ni
sana. Hapa shuleni hapa.
Naam, kukatiwa ni normal.
Ni normal.
Yeah.
Mtu akigundua ni mchungaji kidogo.
Akigundua ni mchungaji kidogo anakuja, saizi anajifanya, anajieka katika hali ambacho we mwenyewe utapendezwa na tabia yake.
Anakuwa mnyenyekevu.
Kama amegundua we ni ule wa prayer band, anakuja prayer band, aende kanisani, afanye kile ambacho kitakuvutia wewe mwenyewe, ukampende. Na ilhali hiyo si tabia yake mwenyewe.
Kwa hivyo mna date hapa chuoni. Mna date hapa chuoni.
Alafu tena wajua wengi wanakuja kutu approach, alafu mtu anakuja, alafu sino mnaendelea kuinteract na kuuliza kidogo asomea nini, theology. Kwenye mlimaliza hiyo conversation, you'll never see that person again.
Jamaa anakwenda msituni.
Na labda wewe mwenyewe ulikuwa umeshapendezwa na vile amekuja.
Na yani wanafikiria mna hisia eti.
Naam. Vile amekuja umependezwa, lakini venye amesikia wewe ni mchungaji. He coils back.
Poleni sana.
Pengine ni kama
Hebu tumsikize dakika moja.
Unaweza pata you may find that some men wanakuja kwako, the intention they want, they are not good, the first of all, lakini because of hizo cheo zenye uko nazo wanataka wakukatie, alafu ukikataa they use that
to pin you down,
to wapeane all the bad things about you ili utolewe hizo cheo.
All the bad that you don't have.
Let me add on top of what they are saying. Like, I don't know whether it's in me alone or it has been within. Like, there is a kind of a respect that lady pastors are given.
Sure.
You get it right. And to some extent, it happens like this. If a guy wants to approach me, it's not really coming directly, but to some extent it comes like in the indirect way. Like, for example, like, are you interested with me now? It's an example. And because you heard that I'm a theology student, I'm a pastor, and how you outview me, like I'm a holy girl. Like, sometimes I don't engage myself into some issues, like petty issues now. Like, now you use your friend, maybe Marvin, to come and approach me on your behalf now. And you find that really you in that feeling like really I need to approach Liz, but I can't do it personally. Therefore, you find it like it happens now to be difficult now on our side. Not really difficult, but now you ask yourself, am I just a girl like any other girl?
Wanaume msiogope, ndiye anasema kwamba msiogope. Yeye ni msichana kama wasichana wengine wale.
We just girls like anybody else who is partaking
wametoboa
management accounts now. Now, don't feel it like it disappoints. No,
it's not disappointing. Asante, hiyo point hiyo imeingia kabisa. Na what about this kind of lifestyle that you want to have as a lady on campus? That is good, the sweet at your age. The ladies want to have it good, go out,
do things.
Do the things, you know.
Let me pinpoint on it now. Like, we ladies, pastors, in campus, we are students. And well, as you know that, university students now live like it's a freestyle now. And now to some extent, for you being a lady pastor, you have to have some principles now. Your dressing code,
Yeah.
your behavior, your conduct in between one and the other person now. Like for example, on myself, it does not need or it does not matter when I walk alone, maybe with Laban. He's not my boyfriend, and he's just a partner. It's okay. Walking with him, maybe we're sharing some stories, having some nature walks, just walking and coming back.
It's a social entity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
socializing. And now on this point, like, to some extent, we have got boyfriends. That's the fact.
Okay.
And having a boyfriend, it's not bad.
Yeah.
As now,
You are a lady, you are young. You need one. What about you?
Okay, I just have to say this. You know, we're just saying as if everything is easy. You know, we are like things be told. We are on campus.
You're on
Like
campus,
you know, people like seeing people going out, enjoying themselves. You feel like, oh my God,
What do
to
I
be
do?
there. Like you know, but really, you know, even though you don't know, there is
Do you face that? Are you saying that you face peer pressure?
not peer pressure.
Do
I'm
you
saying
have
but
something like a
no.
feeling like I should go out
No.
like them?
No,
All right.
but you know, we are all human.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that's
you
what I
can
wanted.
feel so.
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
All
but
right.
there's this thing which as for me, which makes me not to have that drive. There may be one person somewhere, like you don't know that person. That person really looks up to you, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself around, and so you have to sacrifice everything. And maybe you're not aware, but as for me, I do sacrifice most of the things because I know there's someone somewhere looking up to me, like, okay, the way Ruth does things really impresses me. So the hard way, the better way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of time, we've got to move faster.
Yeah.
Which kind of husband do you wish to have in terms of a profession?
Wow. Any profession can do.
Any profession?
Yeah.
Any.
You don't have any specific profession of your dream?
Okay, let me say this. Well, it has always been my dream that if it works, if it's God's will, okay, I get someone from the same profession. Well
The
and
same
good.
profession?
Yeah.
All right. She needs a pastor. Would you need?
okay, on my side, not really a person from the same profession.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really bad now. Like, for example, I view it this way, like having a good and an understanding pastor, not pastor, husband, it really matters a lot. A person who tries to understand maybe your feelings, a person who tries to understand when you're down, when, or to some extent...
You need someone, a human being.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I also need a person who is caring, who is loving, a person who understands me, not only from the department, theology department.
All right.
Yeah.
But from
Thank you, guys. I'm enjoying between these ladies because they are human beings. I thought they were not. Si peke yangu na kuna wengine pale nje pia. Let's come to almost two last points.
Yeah.
What about your parents? What are they doing?
Okay. My parents, okay, they're not employed. I can say that.
Businessmen.
Business.
farmer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine.
Yeah.
My dad is a pastor.
You are a PK.
Yeah.
I'm also a PK.
A PK.
I'm not
Wow.
a PK.
You're not a
But
PK.
my parents are self-employed.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do they say about you too? About you becoming like them?
Well, by the one thing,
Very proud
Yeah,
parents,
my
yeah.
dad is very proud of me because, yeah, okay, I'm the fourth born in the family, and they're like, thank God at least someone is
One
going
of
to
us,
take
yeah.
after
Yeah.
me.
All right.
My dad is remaining with like 7 years to retire.
retire.
So by then,
You shall have graduated.
I shall
Yeah.
have
All right.
graduated.
And you,
I'm also a firstborn in my family, and so dad is very proud of me. And also, there's one thing I usually tell him. My dad didn't get a PhD, but I must have that PhD.
that PhD, powerful man. All right. What about you? Did they say that go for this profession?
No.
They didn't.
Actually, at first, I had to write so many letters to convince them because I had to. You know, my dad.
All right.
My dad wanted me to be a nurse.
All right.
Okay, he was ready. He said, "Come anything, I'm taking you to school to be a nurse." My mom wanted me to be a literature teacher. So everybody wanted whatever. So when I finished my exam, I had to convince them. I had to sit down. I really did much.
All
Though
right.
they accepted at last and they're sponsoring me. I thank God for them now.
Inaonekana kwamba yako hayatakuisha na tutakuhitaji siku nyingine.
Sawa.
Sababu kisa na visa vinakuandama. Mtazamaji, tunaendelea na wao katika dakika zetu za mwisho kama 10 hivi. Kuna Bible verse ambayo labda ndio ilikuwa kichochezi ama unaipenda kabisa kwamba when I read this verse I get encouraged, inspired. There's something I want to tell someone through this verse. Karibu, tueleze. Tueleze.
Yeah.
Thank you for this opportunity too. On my side, really I've got many verses, but because time is not on our side, I can urge my viewer to have a point of interest in one verse. It says, "I can do everything through Christ who constrains me." Which verse is that?
Philippians 4:13.
Philippians chapter 4 verse 13.
13.
Everything that you do, aspire to do in your life, my dear viewer and the people sitting together here, you can do it as much as Christ is with you. He's the one who strengthens us. He's the one who gives us all the power to stand on his name. And because he has given us that power, let us take it not as a guarantee, but let us have that as an opportunity given and stand for his name. And once you serve the Lord, he's there to bless you, and everything that you do in your life will be as a result of a success.
Asante.
Asante. Ya kwanza, tunajua uchungaji una changamoto mingi. Lakini nataka kusema hivi, katika barua ya kwanza ambayo Paula aliandikia wa Korintho, let me talk in English. 1 Corinthians 10:13, it says, "No temptation has seized you that is common to men." The same temptation I'm going to face is the same temptation that any other person is facing outside there.
Yeah.
So, and the last part of the verse, let me just try to read it first. The last part of the verse, I like it so much because God is promising that he will never leave me even if I face such kind of temptations. 1 Corinthians 10:13, and it says, "There hath no temptation taken you, but such is common to man. But God is faithful." I am going to face these temptations, yes. Other pastors may frustrate me because I'm a woman pastor, but my God is faithful. And another thing, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear. All these temptations I'm going to face in my ministry, God is going to give me an escape. And another thing, I know I would have made a very good medical doctor. I would have made a very good teacher. But one thing I know, everything passes away. But one thing that does not pass away, that is the word of God. That I can drive from the book of Psalms chapter 119, verse 96.
Asante.
Okay, yangu ni from the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 28, and I shall read it. It says, "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy." And okay, you can continue reading that verse up to 30. The thing is, God has poured his spirit upon us. Be it you are a girl or a boy, just come out, serve God and do your best. And remember that God qualifies the called. It does not call the qualified.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Asante.
Yeah, I thank God from the book of Hebrews chapter 11, verse 8. It says, "By faith, Abraham, when called to go to the place," you can finish reading it, but the main point I want from that verse is that by faith, you can do anything by faith. If you have faith, you can do anything in this world. Even though people view being a minister, a lady minister, is a hard thing, but by faith you can finish until PhD and do everything that you want.
Huyu anataka kusoma powerful. Mwambie amen. Hebu nisikie amen za wachungaji kwa pamoja. Sema amen.
Amen.
Asante sana. Basi wamekuwa wakitangamana nawe moja kwa moja. Tumetambua kwamba ni binadamu wa kawaida, japo wameamua kwamba lazima na sharti injili songe mbele. Ni wasichana ama ni mabinti wenye umri mchanga 18, 19 wote hao wengine, lakini wamesema kwamba iwe ama liwe lolote lile, bila shaka watakuwa wanahubiri injili mpaka dakika za mwisho. Wanakumbana na changamoto hapa na pale, vile vile wana changamoto za kifamilia, za kimahusiano na kadhalika, lakini wamesimama kidete na kusema lazima mpaka mwisho watasonga. Umekuwa ukitazama runinga ya Baraton moja kwa moja kutoka chuo kikuu cha Baraton, meza kuu. Mimi ni Lekishon Labani, kishukuru kwamba pia tutazidi kuwaletea wachungaji haa, na mimi kwamba mtakuwa mnakuja. Asante sana. Kwaheri, lakini atatufungia kwa ombi.
Haya basi tupate kuomba. Mungu wetu na Baba yetu tupendaye, asante kwa fursa hii ambayo umetupa. Tumeweza kujadiliana sisi wote kama vijana ambao tumejumuika hapa kwa ajili ya kulisifu na kulinua jina lako. Yote ambayo tumeyanena, ende ukaende kuyabariki na tukaweze kufanya kulingana na mapenzi yako. Hili ndilo ombi letu, tumeomba na hata kuamini.
Amen.